Well, I guess this is when practice makes perfect, like Virginians running elections. So we should be perfect by now. We just got over all of these elections in 2006 and 2007. I feel like we're on the road constantly over the last couple of years promoting the Democratic message, promoting Democratic candidates, and we've been successful doing it and feel so good. Sean O'Donnell, who ran here last time, Phil, who ran back in 2003 for the House of Delegates, and Bill Day here, who just concluded a race, ran a terrific race and just came up short. We're hoping you're going to do it again, Bill. You don't have to say now.
As if I am for the next
you don't have to say now, but we're hoping we'll chat some more. And of course, the new senator from Fairfax, Senator. I'd like to attribute it to the quality of the candidates we've been running, recruitment. People from the community, involved in their communities, people with life experience, knowledge, background, that resonates with Virginians. And who better to have the values of Virginia in the 1st Congressional District? Here's somebody who has been a teacher, and not just any teacher, but the best teacher, and a soldier, served in Iraq, and not just any soldier, but someone who earned the Bronze Star. So Phil brings so much life experience, the knowledge, that he will be a terrific representative for the 1st Congressional District. So I'm just pleased to be here. I'm pleased to be able to offer my support. Look forward to, we have a lot of challenges in Congress, and Phil has the background, the ability, the commitment, the courage of his convictions to get it done in Congress. He's just the type of individual we need, and let's get it done for Phil.
All right, Brian.
The other night, last night, I was walking in the Matthews County Parade, and not that you can have a poll from who you shake hands with in a parade, but I was actually shocked. I really was shocked to be in this Republican area, and when I shook a hand and said, I'm Philip Forgit, people go, you're the vet, I'm voting for you. You're the teacher, I'm voting for you. You've got my vote. And then the others who haven't quite figured out the Virginia Democrats on the march, I go, but the fact is, it's changing. And we can be proud to say we're Virginia Democrats now. And I will tell you this, I want to thank, particularly since we have 2 of the state party leaders here, I want to thank the Virginia Democratic Party. You have got to know that they are fighting in this race. And we all know what's going on, we know the dynamic, but you need to understand that the Virginia Democratic Party gets it. The governor gets it. He's been really helpful in getting us resources and energy. He was down there yesterday in Williamsburg, helped us get news coverage and endorsements and everything else. Governor Warner very much in our corner. Senator Webb. Congressman Jim Moran, Brian's brother, has been really at the forefront of knocking heads together to try to get us some resources so that we can run the kind of campaign we need to run. Bobby Scott and Rick Boucher, the whole Virginia Democratic Party gets this, and they understand the unique and historic opportunity we have here in the 1st. The fact is we can do this, and I want you to be very energized about this and understand that it really is going to come down to you. This is historic, and it's historic because if we don't do this, it might be 10 years before we have another shot like this. Yeah. I just put it right out there. So you've got to grab 3 people, you've got to get 10 in Fauquier County, you've got to get 6, you've got to drag everybody you can to the polls. And during the day, on Tuesday, don't think it ends when you mark your name on that ballot. It ends at 7 o'clock that night, all day long, even if you're at work, even if you're doing whatever, you're on the phone going, hey brother, did you vote? You're talking to your friends, your cousins, your family, and saying, did you vote? And if they don't even know there's an election, well, that's bad because you should have talked to them already. But the thing is, talk to them and say, this is the guy you need to vote for, and get out there and vote for him. It's a low turnout election. They're predicting 8 to 15%. You know, I was in Iraq for one of the election cycles, and the Iraqis that I worked with, they went out and voted to the tune of 80-some-odd% of eligible voters. And they had to worry about car bombs and sniper fire and literally dying for that vote. So I want you to be very encouraged today. Here's another reason to be encouraged, though. What are you actually out there talking and walking for? And not to get all weepy-eyed and patriotic, but the fact is you're fighting for your country. You really are. And you need to remember that. The issues today, the Iraq War, the way we treat our soldiers in the field, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs when I'm walking around with a helmet that looks like it's something out of a Peanuts cartoon, and Cher's back home trying to get me a good helmet. It's a sad state of affairs when we have armor. We have a new generation of armor right now that can keep our troops even more safe, and we don't deploy it. We have mine-resistant vehicles with V-wedge shaped hulls that, when the IED explodes, keeps you totally protected in the vehicle, and yet we're still running around with flat-bottom Humvees. And we're 4 years into this. World War II, we started with almost no Army and no Navy, and by the end we were a world superpower. And the president at that time, Franklin Roosevelt, a Democrat, got the titans of industry together and said, let's get this done, let's ramp up production, and by the end of that war, Newport News Shipbuilding was building a ship a day. And yet we can't get armor, we can't get helmets, we can't get vehicles. And then when those same soldiers who come home, if they're injured, they pay what Wesley Clark calls a GI tax, $250 to enter the system. Then they double tax their disability payments, they double their prescription drug costs, they shut down VA hospitals, and they cut benefits. And yet they're the party that supports the troops and honors our service. So to not play in the 1st District race, to not run here, is unpatriotic. And the fact is, you're here, we're running hard because the issues facing the country are very important. And that's why you're here. So really, be encouraged today. Let's knock on the doors, let's make the phone calls, and let's fight for our country so we can send a teacher and a veteran to Washington, not another career politician, because we got plenty of those already. All right? Thanks so much.